Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back once again to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Samuel, I am playing Doomsday, but Samuel's stipulation was that I had to try some sort of new technology for Doomsday. He specified do it for science. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be good. I don't need to think that it's a great idea, you know, but just try something new. Samuel is a brewer and likes to see new things. And the Doomsday shell itself, the actual card Doomsday and the supporting cast of things that go into piles and things that help it resolve are pretty tight. There's some debate in the community over like personal tutor versus profane tutor. You could split the number of cyclers in certain ways, main deck cavern or not. There's some little things here and there, but in general, this deck is like 54, 55 cards locked in. However, in the sideboard, people do all sorts of different things. I've seen Monastery Mentor, I've seen Bitter Blossom, I've seen Sheldock Isle, Emrakul. I've seen just 14 counterspells to make sure Doomsday works. There's a lot of different ways to go, but I have not seen anyone put Death's Shadow in their Legacy Doomsday sideboard. If anyone has tried this, I'm unaware of it, but that's what I'm going to try to do today. The reason I went with Death's Shadow is that the Doomsday deck costs you a lot of life in general. The card Doomsday, the bottom line of text on this card is you lose half your life, rounded up. That's a good way to speedrun a kill with Death's Shadow. The deck frequently plays Thoughtseize. It's not always in the main deck, and not always in the main deck as a 3 of, but I have put all of my disruption bets on Thoughtseize. Sometimes it's like 2 Duress and a Thoughtseize, or 3 Orum's Chant, or depending on your flavor. But I have all 3 Thoughtseize in the main because they lay up the Death's Shadow so well. I have all 4 Street Wraiths. The list that I based this off of is from a couple different sources, but most of them had 3 Wraiths and an Edge of Autumn. And Edge of Autumn costing no life to cycle is usually a plus side. But if we're sideboarding into Shadow, I'm just on 4 Wraiths here. The card Deep Analysis randomly costs you 3 life to cast on the flashback, so there's some action there. I did not go so deep as to put Shocklands in the deck. I still think Doomsday is the more powerful of these 2 plans, and I want to be able to execute it. And Shocklands are pretty bad in that spot. Though there are straight blue-black Doomsday lists that don't bother with a splash color that are playing Shockland anyway. Like, the 5th mana-producing land is just Watery Grave. But I do like Pyroblast. And the reason I like Pyroblast for this red splash is that the natural predator of Doomsday is Blue-Red Delver. And Blue-Red Delver is a deck full of creatures. Death's Shadow is the biggest creature. Blue-Red Delver's removal is red. Death's Shadow is huge. It's really hard to kill Death's Shadow with red removal spells. If you're able to get Death's Shadow onto a board, the big thing you're going to lose to is Murktide Regent, which Pyroblast answers. Pyroblast also, of course, answers Force of Will if you're just trying to shove a Doomsday through. There's some relevant overlap there. Another cool thing about Death's Shadow is that it's a combo with Dress Down, which is one of the most potent cards that blue decks can play against Thassa's Oracle. So if you go for an Oracle, like, you could set up a Doomsday pile that's like Street Wraith, Shadow, Oracle, and then you just put Shadow into play, and then the next turn cast Oracle. If they dress down, you have 26 power in play. So there's like things you could do to line up crazy half Shadow, half Doomsday Arnold Palmer piles. And I'm interested in seeing how all this shakes out. Because the sideboard plan could be a little bit fairer, I have Plague Engineer in here in case we end up slowing it down. And I've also replaced the Chain of Vapor and a flex slot that I had with 2 Brazen Borrower, because that's a creature that can attack for damage while also doing a pretty reasonable impression of Chain of Vapor. Obviously, 2 is significantly more than 1 mana in a deck with 15 lands and trying to win with Lotus Petals. But I hope that the overlap for the sideboard plan is relevant. That's what I got going on here today. This is my scientific pass at Doomsday, doing something different for the sake of doing something different. But I think the idea is pretty cool. Let's try it out. I'm on the play in round number 1. My opponent is a fan of the channel, and they asked, is my deck all spice coming up? And I said it's 50% spice, and they said they're 100% spice. Cool. Hope we're in for a good one. I'm going to keep this opening hand. This turn 2 Doomsday is like a boss. Now I almost feel bad. I just have this pretty tight Doomsday line, game 1, after saying that I'm spicy. Whatever, we'll see. Maybe I'm just going to get Trinisphered out of this game. Nobody knows. They're on 5 cards. Yeah, I mean, I think we just go to Cheesy Town. Personal tutor. Put Doomsday on top. They said, okay, wrong hand for this in the chat, then wastelanded me. Fair enough. I don't know what they're doing, but I know that I'm casting Doomsday. Dark Ritual, Doomsday. I don't know what pile I need to make. It should contain lands. I probably just want to slow pile them. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Does that mean I want to slow pile or fast pile? I don't know what that means. Opponent said I'm so dead in the chat, but I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with my Doomsday yet. Well, Thassa's Oracle has to be in the pile. I'll start by clicking on that one. I'm a little rusty. I have played Doomsday. I've won a couple of paper tournaments, picked up some dual lands with Doomsday, but it's been a couple weeks, and those muscles have atrophied. I could just go Underground Sea, fetch land here, and go for a slow pile. My handful of cantrips. I should be able to win faster than that, though, with this grip full of cantrips. Oracle, Cavern. I want Cavern in the pile. Lotus Petal to speed things up. Then do I want Misty and Underground Sea? There's no protection here. Kind of a bummer. I could just put Force of Will in the pile. Take it slow. But Cavern is taking it slow for me. Okay, I've made a pile that can generate mana. Cavern on the bottom, Oracle above it. I guess Underground Sea was supposed to go on the bottom. Whoops. I'm already doing so well. I do have to pass the turn, though. I wonder if they're doing mental calculations of, should I concede before he knows what the spice is? Okay, Wasteland. I did plan for that. Okay, I play Polluted Delta and pass the turn. I should be able to get through my deck this turn. Uh-oh. If I just failed to play around Dark Ritual Opposition Agent, I'm going to be disappointed in myself. Okay, Grief is whatever. All of my cards in my hand are the same thing right now. Alright, they didn't flicker the Grief. That's good. They could still reanimate it, though. And they're passing the turn. Hope I don't die to Opposition Agent. Oh god, it's happening. It's happening. Okay, so they get to remove my Underground Sea. I mean, I'm not dead. They get to see my pile, but if I draw the Petal and the Cavern, I can still win. Right, there's Cavern, which I'm not going to play because they've made it clear they're a Wasteland deck. I get 2 draw steps. Oh, is that enough? They put me to 5, I draw a card. They put me to 2, I draw a card, then I win. All right, yeah, cool. As long as I don't get discarded right now. No discard spell, no discard spell, no discard spell. They said, I think you got me in chat. If I drew Lotus Petal, I would have put it into play to play around discard. All right, played around the Wasteland. Feeling good about that one. Liliana of the Veil. Yeah, that doesn't matter. You can discard this Consider. And I'm at 2 and win the game. Yikes. That was scary. Petal, Cavern on Merfolk. Blue, in we go. Yeah, that was super tight. If I cycled a Straight Wraith at any point in that game, I would have lost it because I'm at 2 right now. I guess I would have been a turn ahead on the pile. But yeah, just setting up a stable pile on that stable board ended up making a lot of sense. Well, they're an opposition agent deck. What the fuck, by the way. I think I want the Death Shadows here. The Liliana's kind of scary with the Shadows. But on the draw against Oppo Agent, I definitely want a backup plan. Brazen Borrower. Does Flusterstorm matter? I saw Wasteland Grief Opposition Agent that game. I still want Dark Ritual. Like, casting Street Wraith could be part of my plan here. Force of Will is going to be excellent against this deck no matter what. Days on the draw might be medium. I don't want to personal tutor against the opposition agent deck. I could just shave Doomsdays also. Like, if I draw it, it's cool. If not, I'll just cast Death Shadow. I'm still pretty worried about just opposition agent because my mana base is pretty fragile to that sort of thing. Can I ever even cast Doomsday? Is that even an option on the table? I guess I should leave some number of them in the deck just in case. I am bringing in Brazen Borrower. Right, Lion's Eye Diamond gets really bad when I'm not reliably D-daying. These are 7 cards that I'd want to bring in. Do I want Plague Engineer here? That's just like a creature that I can put into play in the face of opposition agent. Right, there's still 1 Oracle, 1 Doomsday. Deep Analysis still plays into the Death Shadow and Grind Them Out plan. Okay. Let's get weird. I guess I could play Force of Negation to try to slow down a turn 1 opposition agent by hitting the Dark Ritual, but that feels not great. I'm gonna keep this hand. It has pretty stable mana, and I can Force of Will something dangerous if necessary. Okay, they do have Grief. I'm a little worried about this Grief getting flickered, and they're gonna take Brainstorm anyway. Though, we're in Legacy. It getting reanimated is just as likely as it getting flickered. Alright, I'm gonna let it resolve. I think they're gonna take Brainstorm, though. Yeah, the way they stack their triggers tell me that they don't have flickers in their deck, but they probably do have reanimates. And they just pitched a Sinkhole. Yikes. A Force of Will got stripped. That's interesting. So they must have reanimate, because Brainstorm is the best card in this hand. Or not. Okay, just turn 1 Oppo Agent. Yeah, that makes Brainstorm a lot worse. Let's dig through this. I guess I Thoughtseize and just hope it's not Wasteland in their hand. Okay, Thoughtseize takes Thoughtseize. They're hellbent with opposition agent, and I am not doing good in the face of this. Chalice on 0. Fuck. They even know about the Lotus Petal in my hand. All right, we need a Death Shadow here. Okay, Cavern on Avatar is pretty interesting. I'm running it out there. Time to reveal the spice. Cavern on Avatar. I hope they think I'm just messing with them. Shadow's a 1/1 now. I don't think it's time to Brainstorm. I'll take another hit because I guess I still get to shuffle the Brainstorm. They just get to take the card and see my whole deck. So I should be making land drops still. Okay, I'm at 9. Death Shadow is now bigger than opposition agent, so it's time to party. Brainstorm, let's go. Find me the Shadow. Ugh. Somehow getting worse. I do have ways to bounce Cavern in my deck. Or Chalice in my deck. Yeah, unfortunately this fetch will reveal my Death Shadows. But it does have to happen. Underground Sea. Hell yeah, time for Ideas Unbound. That's a really good card right now. Shadow, Shadow, Shadow. Yes! There's my Shadow. Cannot be countered. We're in there like fucking swimwear. Discarding 3 cards. It's got to be land, Petal, Ritual, I think. Is Ritual worse than Petal at this point? I don't know. It's pretty close. All right, give me a turn to get my Brazen Borrower set up, and then I can protect this with Flusterstorm. Chalice on 1. Okay. I don't care about that either. Okay, I attack for 8, they go to 11. They attack for 3, and Death Shadow is an 11/11. So GG easy. I'm also going to run out my fetch land here. I'm insulated against Liliana because I can flash in Brazen Borrower just in creature mode. If they find some way to make 2 extra damage, I can bounce the agent. Cavern on human. Okay. That's the second agent. Yeah, when they flash in agent, I'll just bounce it with Petty Theft. Here we go. Moment of truth. I have Petty Theft backed by Flusterstorm. Agent resolves. Petty Theft. 2 mana is a lot better than 1 in this case. Get out. We did it, Jeffrey. And they're dead. That was fucking awesome. That was a successful first outing with Death Shadow Doomsday, I have to say. Okay, this hand, if I cycle Wraith into a blue card, I get to Doomsday with Force backup. I'm going to keep this. I don't know the matchup. Okay, what deck has main deck Leyline of the Void? Some sort of 2-card Monty bullshit. I don't think a deck that has main deck Leyline of the Void is going to have counterspells. So I'm just going to Dark Ritual Doomsday right now. I'm going to save my Cycler for post D-Day. This could be a Chalice deck. It could be a lot of things. I should put a blue card on top of my pile so I can cycle Wraith and pitch to Force if I need to. Okay, if I make my top... So Oracle has to be in the pile, obviously. And I need a land for this Flooded Strand to get. Or maybe I don't because I have Cavern. All right, I'll think about the land for a minute. If I go Oracle, Lotus Petal in the pile, and then I'm going to 9 life here. I could have Wraith, blue card. I go to 1. Now that's a card short. If I make the blue card Consider, can I win next turn? I don't think so. I think I'm a mana short, no matter how you slice it. I guess if I put Lotus Petal on the bottom of the pile, I can actually win next turn. So Wraith, blue card. Could be any blue card. Is there any value to making it a cantrip instead of something like Force of Will or Ideas Unbound? Could just be Daze. Just Consider as like a card I might... No, I'm not going to cast any of these cards. It just doesn't matter. But I'm just going to look at this pile one more time, make sure that I'm making sense. If I put Lotus Petal on the bottom of the pile with Thassa's Oracle above it, and then Brainstorm above that, or I guess I should put Brainstorm on the top. There's no reason to just commit to wraithing my life away. And next turn, I can just go Cavern, Oracle with 1 card in my deck. Oh wait, no, I got a draw step in between these things. I'm going to have all my cards, right? No, I think I had it right the first time. Cycle Wraith, 4 cards left. Draw step, 3 cards left. Wraith, 1 card left. Oh, okay. Yeah, this pile works. Okay, Petal on the bottom, then Oracle, then Wraith, Brainstorm. Okay. Figured it out, I hope. And if they have Wasteland, I just wait a turn, I guess. Ox Diamond, Scurry. I don't care about Chalice on 1 or 0. I don't care about Opposition Agent. I definitely don't care about Serum Powder. I don't care about Expedition Map. Okay. I believe we're winning this game. Okay, cycle. Cavern on Merfolk. And off we go with Force backup. There is a card in my graveyard, or in my library, but it shouldn't matter. We did it. Okay, this is definitely some sort of 2-card Monty deck. Serum Powder is a pretty smoking gun. The Expedition Map gives away that they're also a Merit Lage deck. I would also expect Opposition Agent out of this deck, unfortunately. I'd probably just do the pivot again, right? This is basically the same matchup we played in round 1, somehow. A Pile of Shadows. Force of Negation gets better in this matchup than it was in the last one, because they do have like GG cards. Like I brought in Flusterstorm and Plague Engineer last time, but I don't think those are the play here. LED, some number of Doomsdays. We've seen this before. The personal tutors are out if I'm not doomsdaying. And they're also extremely susceptible to opposition agent. Days. There's 2 doomsdays left in the deck just in case. And even if they have opposition agent, I can like play Death Shadow and then cast Doomsday for a lethal attack. This is just like lightning bolt you. There are board states where that's the case. Yeah, all of my pitch counter magic is in, my bounce spells are in, my alternate win cons are in. Do I want this Flusterstorm in the deck at all? Do I think that they're a Dark Ritual deck? I'm trying to think of spells they would have. And like Dark Ritual is pretty close to the only one. If I cut this, I could bring in Plague Engineer and name Vampire just in case they're a Hex Mage deck. Could bring in another Oracle just for some card selection and a body in play. This bringing in the Oracle also lets me pitch it to one of my 6 forces and still have a Doomsday line. Yeah, I'll take the second Oracle here. My hand is very good against most things. Like, I don't care about Leyline at all. I don't care about Dothy Voidwalker. Chalice on 1 or turn 1 opposition agent would both dumpster me into the earth, though. They kept 7. What does that mean for me? I don't know. I'm going to keep. Fuck it. They do have Lotus Petal. They do have their Leyline. If near Deadlands, what does that do? I mean, I know what it does, but why is it in the deck? Huh, very weird. And I'm going to play Lotus Petal and Misty Rainforest, and I'm not going to cast a spell. When I get my second land into play, I can fetch in a response to their opposition agent and then daze with the second land. And if they make a move now, I can fetch in response. Voidwalker, does that matter? If I brainstorm now, then they don't get a brainstorm. That sounds reasonable. Blue, brainstorm. I guess I could also just daze this jerk and save my... Yeah, I probably should have just saved my Lotus Petal and cast daze there. Not even on the radar as an option. Cycle these 2, fetch, Underground Sea, float blue, and daze this thing. I guess I should cycle Street Wraith now in case I find something I want to do with that blue, like cast Consider. That was tight. Put Street Wraith into the graveyard. No. And putting that in the graveyard is the same as putting it into my hand, except I don't get to lose 2 life, which normally is a plus, but in this case, it's a big minus. Show me your secrets. Force of Will was a big find here. Whoa, 2 Karns and a Marilyn. Right there. I'll land drop away from Karn. And I have to take this Marilyn, though. Jesus. I can answer the first Karn. The second one, I have ideas Unbound to try to dig into. I named a Rogue with their Cavern. Oh, hey. Please don't have Oppo Agent right now. Okay. We did it. 1/1 Avatar creature. Let's go. I hope their butts just fell into their bottom of their pants, or their hearts fell into their butts. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I hope they were like, oh shit. It's basically what I'm trying to say here. Rewarded for keeping that Street Wraith off the Consider. This is a 1/1. It would be a negative 1/1 if I hadn't done that. Now we got to start working through Karns. Oh, that's much worse. Literally dead to that one. Okay, force that. Let's find some more interaction. That's interesting. Yeah, ideas Unbound. Ooh, this is tough. I really want to cast this second Dash Shadow fetch. How quickly do I lose to Karn if I do that? Like immediately, I guess. I can just keep Force Blue card in my hand. So I attack for 2. They go to 14. They tap Ancient Tomb. They go to 12. I force their thing. Then this is a 3/3. I attack them to 9. They tap Ancient Tomb to 7. I attack them to 4, and then I lose. Woof. Helm of Obedience was a seriously good draw. I could also just fetch Death Shadow, have 6 power in play. This Leyline's fucking me up. Deep Analysis. Discarding Deep Analysis here would be so good. Okay. I'm just going to go in on max damage here. Discarding the Force Blue card hurts. Yeah, Deep Analysis would actually be lethal if it was in my graveyard. They tap to 11. I crunch for 6. Guess they could spend some time doing something different with Karn, but there's got to be a Helm in the sideboard they can just wish for and put you're dead on the stack. Brazen Borrower to bounce the Leyline in response to Helm activation wins the game. Right, I got plays. I got options. I could also just naturally draw Force of Negation and cast it. Really disappointed about my deep analysis. They do have to wish for the Helm here, because if they wish for like something cute, like Engineered Explosives or whatever, I can kill Karn, deal damage to them, and then they have to spend another 2 turns playing Karn, wishing for Helm. I don't think they have time for that. If I cycle Wraith into fetch land, they're dead. Like, Wraith is +4 damage on this board. Anything that hurts me is good. Or, like, cycle Wraith into Thoughtseize. Oh, Sphere of Annihilation. Cool. Alright, that works. Dark Ritual is not the lethal threat I was looking for. I do have to kill Karn, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not winning this game now. Oh well. They got to cast their Sphere of Annihilation, though. We both get to have a good time. Right, maybe now I'll just draw Doomsday and win the game. Oh, Doomsday would have won the game. Yeah, just the lethal lose 5 life to kill you. Oh, you're an Iggy deck, too. Cool. Each player discards their hand and returns up 3 cards from their graveyard. Alright. Yeah, that works with Leyline pretty well. I don't have a graveyard to pop. Is that better than just casting Karn, though? Maybe? I don't know. Well, I'm dead next turn. Brazen Bar is the only thing that can save me. Oh my god. The way their mana is set up, they're not going to be able to recast their Leyline because Ancient Tomb, like, Deadlands hurts them. Pithing Needle, sure. I don't think there's a card that gets that I care that names that I care about. Great Wraith, sure. I think most of those are gone already. Oh no, City of Traders, fuck. I think I have to bounce Helm in response. Yeah, the drawing City of Traders was just so good there. They didn't have to take damage off Ancient Tomb, and now they can replay their thing. Damn it. I could draw Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize! Fuck. Alright, I'm dead. My opponent has certainly ripped some hot ones at important points of this game. I'm not mad about it. They put those cards in their deck for a reason, but the Ancient Tomb to get the first Helm followed by the Ancient Tomb, like all of it. Oh, Voidwalker. That's not where I thought this was going to go. Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, never mind. I'm dead. Right. Yeah, I forgot they had a Voidwalker. You got me. Okay, I'm thinking I might just want to be a Doomsday deck on the play. Though the Shadow thing was pretty fun. Do I want more Doomsdays? Like, I didn't see Opposition Agent, though Cavern on Rogue does get Opposition Agent and Dothi Voidwalker. Like, Agent's got to be in this deck, right? If it's not in the main deck, it's in the sideboard. On the play, Daze gets a lot better. Is there a card that's worse than Daze? Maybe Dark Ritual. Cut 2 rituals, get my 2 Dazes back in, and play it like this. Plague Engineer doesn't answer anything I need it to. Okay. I'm doing this. It's still the mini Doomsday version. Okay, I have lots of disruption here. I'm going to keep this. They powdered a hand away, 2 Voidwalkers, 2 Karns, and Opposition Agent confirmed. Alright, I'm on the right plan. I trust your instincts. Opponent's down to 5 cards. That's pretty good for me in this particular... The texture of this hand that I've kept definitely wants my opponent to have as few options as possible. I'm trying to think, is there some world where they can activate Helm and then I can get Thassa's Oracle into play? And I don't think that there is. I don't have a way to put it into play at instant speed. Fuck, that would be so sick. I really enjoy Thoughtseizing a Mull to 5, though. I'm here for that. They've settled on 5 cards over there. I'm going to Wraith first, then Thoughtseize. What was worth keeping over there? Agent Voidwalker. I'm going to take Voidwalker, though this Cavern is pretty good against my lineup. Alright, taking Voidwalker. The Warping Whale can exile Oracle, unfortunately. I can Daze that, though. I'm not getting many targets for Daze. I'm going to use Oracle's Scry mode, but consider on top. The uncounterable Oppo agent does line up pretty well against what my hand ended up being here. Fuck, they just drew one of those? Stop it. Bullshit. Now Consider sucks also, because whatever I mill, they can just cast. Alright, I mill nothing. Well, that's bad. I need a Death Shadow to race this very quickly. Just 2-drop land in the correct order to curve out uncounterably. Alright. I guess I should have attacked. This thing has Shadow. I missed a damage there. I hope they beat me at 1 life now. I'm rooting for you, opponent. There's their agent. They know better than to wait. Unfortunate for me. Begin the damage. Come on, cantrips. Underground Sea. Alright, so I can just slam Brazen Bee and start beating down. They can Warping Whale, Brazen Borrower. And I could bounce Voidwalker. That could save me some damage over a couple turns. And I think that finding my Shadow is more important than clocking them right now, because I'm losing the race. And it's not even close. I will accept my beats here. Not going to chump block. Going to bounce Voidwalker in the end step. Can't counter it. This is an instant. Alright, lands. I have enough of you now. At least they're not fetch lands. Hope they didn't draw a second opposition agent. Okay. We're through the woods on that. If they cast Warping Whale, I think I'm gonna hard cast 1 days and then bounce Volcanic Island to play the other days. In cantrip, or like just finding Death Shadow really does flip this game on its ear, because I get to brick the agent in combat and win the race against Voidwalker. So it has to happen right now, because I'm at 1 on board effectively versus the Voidwalker clock, the Shadow clock. Ideas Unbound or Brainstorm into multiple shadows is my best line here. Great Wraith is basically dead. Cast Brazen Borrower. They didn't redeploy their Voidwalker, which makes me feel like they have another Oppo agent. They ponder, find me a shadow, or a card that draws 2 shadows. Ooh, 2 shadows. I can't draw them both. Not going to shuffle my library, obviously. This is the #1 card I was looking for. Okay, there's Death Shadow. I'm going to hold back Thassa's Oracle to block and attack with Brazen Borrower now. If they have a second opposition agent, I can't counter it. A Warping Whale can make a 1/1 idiot also. That could mess up my clock. And not redeploying that Voidwalker is so weird. I'm at 4 life, and they just didn't do anything with all the mana. Like, I can't Doomsday. You have opposition agent in play. Why would you hold up a counterspell? Now I hope they panic and start doing weird shit that just plays into days. Okay, Voidwalker's back in play now. Better late than never. And they tapped out of their colorless source to do that. So they can't Warping on me now. Gonna attack with my 2 slappers. They're taking it. They don't know what I got in store back here. Another shadow. I mean, if they can play an uncounterable removal spell... Oh, I actually just lose to the Warping Whale if they don't do anything else. Oh, no, I don't. I can still block opposition agent. Shut up. Yeah. Death Shadow blocks Oppo agent. Even if they exile Oracle, I take 3 from this, eat this, and I'm not dead there. If they go for a Helm, I have a Wall of Dazes. I can't force this turn because then I die to Voidwalker. They could cast Consider with Voidwalker. It doesn't have to be exiled by the same Voidwalker, it just has to be in exile with a Void counter on it. So they could cast Consider here if they really need an out. But that would be pretty good for me. They cast Serum Powder. Okay. Now I can Daze Warping Whale. They're probably going to attack for 3, put me to 1, try to jump block with Warping Whale, and die for it. But that's not even good enough because Oracle and Borrower attack for lethal, even if they do get their chump in. Here comes everybody. This Cavern of Souls was a functional Mind Twist for 4 this game. And still going to win. I'll Daze this just for good measure. Though I don't think I have to. Death Shadow clowning opposition agent 2 rounds in a row. It's hard to call this one a clowning though, because they just, I think, misplayed by not replaying their creature. I would be dead this turn if they had just cast Voidwalker when they're supposed to. But hell yeah, we count those. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm playing against Legacy Streamer from the Jedi Legacy Council, Arkin. If he's live, he could be doing anything. Though I know he also is into just grinding trophies with Reanimator sometimes. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got a quick Doomsday with Disruption. Jesus Christ. Did this deck win the challenge last weekend? Why is this happening 3 times in a row? What the fuck? I mean, I don't think it's good. I'm not mad about it. It's just like, why is this happening at all? Okay, Flooded Strand is a change of scenery at least. Okay, this is not the same deck. Whoa. Jesus. Okay, why would a blue deck have Leyline in the main? I'm gonna Thoughtseize them and find out. Okay, Force of Will is nice backup here. Show me what you're doing. I need to know. Rest in Peace Helm. Okay, so you are just like some Rip Helm deck. Alright, I'll take the Helm. Now your hand is lands and Rest in Peace. I don't think I want to Personal Tutor right now. Like, if I Personal Tutor, it'll cost me a Lotus Petal, which is also my source for casting the Doomsday. There's one of the Ancient Tombs. Ponder or Brainstorm, which of these is better? I could also just Personal Tutor and chip it. Though the Lotus Petals do get exiled and they're gone forever, which makes piles a little harder. I think I want to Ponder. If I find a land here, cool. Yeah, so I find a land, and I get to Personal Tutor with an extra resource, rather than just Personal Tutoring with what I had. Okay. Personal Tutor. Show me the Doomsday. Doomsday's on top of the deck. Underground Sea. Yeah, there's 2 mystery cards in that hand. I could make a Doomsday pile that wins right now, but it uses Lion's Eye Diamond to do it. I guess I can play around Daze, though I don't expect that to be a card in his deck. Black, 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 Doomsday. I'm going to make a pass the turn pile. I don't think I'm in a rush to make anything happen here. Cavern, Oracle, 2 Petals, Street Wraith. Okay, draw for turn, 4 cards left. Cycle Street Wraith, 3 cards left. Ideas Unbound, GG. I have Ideas Unbound in hand already. I can just add, I don't need the Lotus Petals. Oh wait, I do if I get Wastelanded, I can Ideas Unbound into Petal Cavern. I need 1 petal. And another Force of Will doesn't help me. Can I sneak Thoughtseize in here? I think so. And Street Wraith. Okay, so Cycle Wraith, blue, blue, Ideas Unbound. I have Petal, Petal, Cavern, Thoughtseize you, cast Oracle with Force Backup. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, there we go. Your turn. 3 mystery cards in hand. Let's hope they're not good, or hope they don't beat Force of Will. Okay, Cycle Wraith, Thoughtseize you. It's hard cast Force of Will. Yeah, that's fine. You got me. Blue, blue, Ideas Unbound, draw my deck. I guess I should have gone to combat and ate their floating mana. I still can do that. Second main, Cavern on Merfolk, Lotus Petal, blue, blue, Oracle, easy Doomsday. How have I played against 3 Helm Leyline decks in a row? What's happening in the Legacy queues? Or do I think this is also an Opposition Agent deck? Rest in Peace, we saw. I bet Energy Field is in this deck, which is a opponents can't deal damage combo. Do I want Pyroblast? Like, I did see blue cards. I saw Force of Will. I don't think I want to go on to Death Shadow. I want to see what the sideboard plan is. Though this is a... Okay. If your deck has Force of Will and Leyline of the Void in it, Consider and Deep Analysis get a lot worse. Maybe I don't want Brazen Borrower. Maybe I don't need 3 Pyroblasts. Some of the stuff they're doing isn't blue. The Force of Negations are good against their combo, but bad on defense. And Flusterstorm is good on offense, but bad on defense. Yeah, this deck actually has me in kind of a pinch. It's pretty cool. I think I can go down to 3 Wraiths. Since I'm not shadowing, 3 Wraiths is a pretty standard number of that card to have. Yeah, I'm just going to try to be a Doomsday deck. See what hate he's got for me. If I see Opposition Agent in game 2, we're going to Shadowtown. This hand is pretty disruptive. I'll keep it on the strength of that. Kept a 7 with Leyline. Lucky. Underground Sea, Ponder. You got it. I guess he would have boarded out Energy Field if it is an Energy Field deck. Like, that's not a card you leave in against Doomsday. But I'll try to win game. Like, the bonus of winning game 1 is that you get to sell a little harder in game 2 for game 3. Okay, I can brainstorm here, and if I hit Doomsday, it's actually a banger. All right, that's not great. Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual. Or I could put back Dark Ritual Daze, and then I could cast Ponder with my Lotus Petal. Yeah, I want to keep this velocity going. I have Dark Ritual and backup in hand. I'd like to find a Doomsday quickly. Just land out of them. Another Daze. I just play Underground Sea. I guess I could consider right now. Again, if I find Doomsday, that's pretty good. I'm actually going to keep Force of Will. This feels like a matchup that I'm pretty comfortable taking a slow roll in. Brainstorm. Basic Plains. Yeah, I guess with white mana in the deck, the sideboard things open back up. Yeah, like that one. A good time to cast Daze. Force of Will pitching Brainstorm. Force resolves. We float blue and Daze again. I'm at 0 permanence, but that's okay. That's what Dark Ritual's for. I just got a 2 for 3 there at the cost of tempo. Just draw Doomsday and make it easy. Ponder. More looks at Doomsday. Personal Tutor counts as Doomsday in my heart and eyes. And I want Lotus Petal more than I want to land here. Okay, there's Personal Tutor. Racing towards the finish line here. Probably going to slam a Helm. And I'm going to force. Got 1 card left over there. Underground Sea. Personal Tutor. We're grabbing the Doomsday. And hoping we're not dead. Gonna fetch first, because once I Doomsday, I don't want more lands in my deck. Dark Ritual, Doomsday. This plays around, or nope, it doesn't play around Flusterstorm. Okay, Force of Negation also, real good. I did not budget for Force of Negation today. Now Hardcast Force of Will is up, or we're dead to just Helm. All right, whatever. Okay, Force of Negation and Meddling Mage are both in this deck. Maybe it's time to be a Death Shadow. All right, we're making the transition. Red Elemental Blast, Street Wraith back in, all 4 shadows. Do I want Flusterstorm? Fluster's in the maybe pile. 6 cards got to come out. So 2 Doomsdays, all of the Personal Tutors. Still like Oracle, LED's already out. This is tough when I'm already halfway sideboarded. Alright, the Dark Ritual's got a lot worse here. But Ritual out makes room for Fluster. I could bring in my own Force of Negations. That's probably worth it against his combo deck. I could just go all the way out on Dark Ritual. I kind of want the second Oracle and the Consider back in the deck based on what we've done here. Is it possibly right to play 1 Doomsday? That seems so wild. Right, I'll shave it Daze and bring Consider back in. And I like Thoughtseize. Pyroblast does kill Meddling Mage in addition to winning counter wars. Maybe I don't need all 3 of those, though. Still love Ideas Unbound just as a magic card. Honestly, Flusterstorm looks really bad against their deck. Thassa's Oracle can be in just additional beats. Additional thing to pitch. Get rid of those. Brazen Borrowers are in. All my counter magic's in except for this one. Or there's a Daze and a Fluster not in. Oh, I get to bring 1 more card in. Sick. Apparently, I miscounted. Okay. I'm doing it like this. Back to Shadowtown against the 3rd Leyline of the Void deck in a row. Well, I have one of my 2 of Doomsdays, but obviously a mulligan. Yikes. This hand is pretty bad. I wish this cavern was any other land. I don't believe I can keep this hand. Daze is already dead because I have no island. I'd have to use my Lotus Petal to cast Brainstorm. In Petal Brainstorm, try to find another land isn't the worst thing. Like, if I do find the land, this hand's actually medium to good. But if I miss, the game is over. I don't know, maybe I do keep this, put Pyroblast on the bottom, but Lotus Petal casting Brainstorm, I'm already down a card, which is the same as mulling. So yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Now we're cooking. Alright, I'll keep this 5. I'm gonna bottom one of the shadows and one of the forces. Oh, no leyline. Wild. Now I need ways to reduce my life total. Just to find a couple of straight wraiths here. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Consider in the end step. Thoughtseize. No, that's a great card. I love reducing my life total. Do I want to brainstorm here? I don't think so. Like, all the cards in my hand are good. What am I looking for on this brainstorm? Okay, so we've got Baleful Strix, Force of Negation, Karn the Great Creator. I think I just want the Strix. Yeah, that one lines up the best against what I'm doing. It's also the blue card to go with Force of Negation. Blood Strand. Come on, Street Wraith. Okay, now I can brainstorm because I don't actually want this Volcanic Island. Put back Volcanic Island, and I think I put back Force. Yeah, because I can pitch the Force to Daze. Like, if I keep the second Force, then I'm just locked on Force pitching Force. But I can Daze a 4-drop next turn. Ponder, Ponder, Brainstorm. Yeah, I'll keep this. Just more velocity right now. Sounds pretty good. Blooded Strand. Ponder. Okay. Not going for the Karn, playing around Daze. I would expect nothing less from the Legacy Jedi Council. Ponder. Chose to shuffle and then fetch. Could just like get Scrubland and slam Rest in Peace here. Or have we even seen... Oh, yeah, we have seen black mana in Baleful Strix. Okay. I was about to say, is Leyline just a 0 or a bust in the deck, but it's not. Another Ponder. Okay, so the Ponder found Ponder on the shuffle. All I want in my life is just a pocket of straight wraiths right now. Did not shuffle this Ponder. Ponder. Thoughtseize is also good. All right, straight wraith, I'll take it. 1, 2, 3. Do not shuffle. Cycle wraith. Cast the other Ponder. Digging through the deck here. Daze Brazen Bee. Second Shadow. I don't really want the second Shadow. Not yet. The second Daze would be good. And if not, I'll brainstorm it away next turn. Okay, so Force of Will. Oh wait, no. Do I want to double Daze? Or do I want to just force it? I think I want to just force it. And hope they don't force me back. Okay, cool. Karn's gone. So they got a 2-for-1 out of the deal. Brazen Borrower. Do I brainstorm now? I know Death Shadow is the top card of my deck. I could just wait a turn, hold up Daze, or bounce something with Brazen Borrower. Next turn, I could hard cast Force of Negation on my Brainstorm, though. If Brainstorm finds a Wraith, then I'm in business. No, I'm just passing. Brainstorm of your own. That's a good card. Turn these shitters into real cards. Rest in Peace was not really doing anything this game. A lot of lands over there. Daze is looking worse every minute. I'm going to Brainstorm, which unfortunately plays into Hardcast Force Negation if he wants to be aggressive. I didn't want to be aggressive. That's good. However, it is bad that I drew all these bad cards. I'm not going to Brainstorm. Okay, Rest in Peace can resolve. That's not the combo piece I'm worried about, though that does indicate that he found a combo piece. Death Shadow. Still don't think it's time to Brainstorm. I'm just going to be hyper patient, obnoxiously patient. Okay, now we're passing. Brainstorm time. Oh yeah. This is the business. I'm going to put... His Ideas Unbound actually good. I think Daze is actually just completely heinous at this point. So put back 2 dazes. I know they have Force of Negation in their hand. Guess I'll Thoughtseize all the same. Storm is 3. Okay, I can fluster this. They don't have 4 mana to pay right now. Really hope I get to just strip a Helm from their hand and then they have nothing. Late line Force for... Wow, this hand sucks. Guess I'll take one of the forces. And hope they don't draw Helm right now. No, stop tapping mana. Stop it. You did not. You did not. Fuck! Did they know that was there? Did they brainstorm last turn or anything? Bullshit. Yeah, next turn I cast a Shadow, hold up Brazen Borrower. Yeah, fuck. All right. Yeah, it just took way too long that game to get the Death Shadows online. No Shocklands in the list was a big deal. Maybe I should just have one. Just 3 Underground Sea, 1 Watery Grave. It won't matter a lot of the time, and it'll be huge when I'm shadowing. If I kept double Daze in my hand, does that buys me a turn? Yeah, not good enough. All right. Well, we're not beating that. I'm on the play with a hand that might be a trap. 2 fresh cards. They could be anything. But I think I can do better. This hand kind of sucks. Way too much mana in it. All right, this is a real hand. I'm going to keep it in bottom Volcanic Island. There's no red cards in the main deck. I'm just going to chill on that. I'm going to Ponder first. Flusterstorm, Wraith. And shuffling this is the same as not shuffling it. I guess I could put Flusterstorm in my hand. Now I'm going to shuffle this. Burden Catacomb strategy. I'm going to Daze this because Daze is not getting better. Whether this is Elves or Maverick or Green-White or whatever, doesn't really matter. Time to start seizing them. Try to buy some time here. Okay, it is Elves. And Glimpse of Nature and Elvish Visionary are both in this hand. I'm going to take Visionary. I can take the Glimpse on a future turn. Though they could Glimpse and just draw 1 now, lock in their profits. Though that seems really bad compared to... Yeah, they're going to wait a turn, fetch Dryad Arbor, try to go off with Cradle. Ooh, interesting. They fetch Dryad Arbor, they go Glimpse of Nature, Quirion Ranger, draw a card. Cradle's good for 2 mana. Plus the... Oh no, they don't have the plus the Dryad Arbor. That is the Glimpse. They have 2 mana to try to keep it going from there, and the Hoofs in their hand. I'm casting Doomsday. Underground Sea. Doomsday. I do need to make a fast pile here. I'm just going to make the basic Cavern, Petal, Oracle, Ideas Unbound, Cycle pile. So I put Ideas Unbound on top, draw it for turn, cast it. I draw 3 of these things, cycle the last one for the last one. Okay, yep. This is the basic pile. And a Cavern on the bottom. That's the least important one here. Basically, the only thing that matters is that Ideas Unbound is on top. Or Street Wraith or Ideas Unbound on top. That's mostly the same. I don't think they're going to Ragavan me or anything, so I'll just put the Ideas on top, pass a turn. Can you win? Let's find out. I hope not. Can they Natural Order? 1, 2, 3. They have a couple different ways to 3 mana. Oh, right. Quirion Ranger is the elf in their hand. So they have 1 more mana than I originally gave them credit for having. All right, F6, please don't kill me. Yeah, if they have Natural Order, they can cast it. Heritage Druid. That's scary. There's the Cradle. Rex Sage. All right. That's a desperation sign. Yeah, okay, we did it. Blue. Ideas Unbound. Cycle Street Wraith. Cavern on Merfolk. All right, we dodged. Unless they have Endurance, which is possible, but I think they would have tried to keep their Glimpse chain going if they did have Endurance. Though, maybe not. Maybe that's just preposterous. Yeah, okay. And the builds with Quirion Ranger in them usually don't have Nettle Sentinel in the main, or don't have Endurance in the main. Okay, against Elves, I definitely need to be a Doomsday deck against Elves. Death Shadow is not the juke we're looking for. There's not a lot of things that they do that I care about, other than speed. LOL Plague Engineer. It's not in this deck for any like elf control reasons, but here it is. It's there to support Death Shadow. But okay, I'm in. Bluster Storm is not great. Like that could buy me time, I guess, if they just really lean in. But Allosaurus Shepherd beats that anyway. It doesn't counter Endurance on their turn. I don't think I want Brazen Borrower. Daze is pretty bad on the draw. It's pretty bad on the play too against elves. I think this is all I'm gonna do. Like we're pretty close to pre-boarded. And because I'm this Death Shadow build, there's 4 slots dedicated to things that would normally be different kinds of tools that I just don't have. Bummer. This is so close to the nuts. I'm gonna ship it. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna put Ideas Unbound back in the deck where it belongs. Dryad Arbor, go. All right, yeah, they know they can just play for speed here. Street Wraith. Yeah, if I hit Doomsday, it's worth it. Cavern, all right. Ponder. Come on, Doomsday. All right. We have a turn 2 win lined up here. I'm gonna draw the Ponder because Elves does play discard. Allosaurus Shout Dryad Arbor is the line. Okay, I mean, I can win right now if they have nothing, which I'm just going to have to bet on. I don't think I can give them another turn here. Like, is this a sign of knowing the matchup, or is this a sign of weakness because they kept an incredible sideboard card? I think I can build me a pile that does both, as the kids say. Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Studying this pile here, I'm trying to figure out if there's like a Plague Engineer thing I can do that would be sweet, or if I just need to go in. Oracle, Lion's Eye Diamond are required for the win this turn. I can tuck a Daze in the pile to play around something. Oh wait, no, not if I'm Lion's Eye Diamonding. No, I can't. I guess I'm just going to go for the fastest pile and hope they have nothing. Yeah, the way this one works is I brainstorm to draw 3 cards. I leave Cycler and Lion's Eye Diamond in my hand. Then I cycle in response, crack LED, draw the 3 cards, and then cast Oracle. Yeah, I'm just going for speed. Okay, brainstorm. Like Mindbreak Trap is the thing they could have, I guess. Maybe I could have fit a Daze in this pile. Right, cast LED, hold priority, cycle Street Wraith, make blue, blue, blue. Ideas Unbound. All right, show me the Mindbreak Trap or die. Those are your choices. I guess Endurance also beats me here. Okay, they did have Endurance, and I beat Endurance. I can block with Oracle and try to combo again. Okay. Yeah, hard mode activated. Brainstorm Ponder. I want Ponder on top. All right. I have to discard my Cavern. Yeah, I don't think I could have slid a Daze into that pile. They're making Alphos. I'm getting natural ordered right now. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, Zenith for 3. Sure. Oh, Grist. That's good too. Alien Collector Roof. Good to know. Okay, they're Hellbent. Brainstorm. I found the Doomsday, but the Oracle needs to die first. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to just tuck a cheeky little... Oh, I'm just out on board. They Grist and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not going to have time to do this. I'll be at 1 this turn and can't resolve the thing anyway. All right. Probably could it. Yeah, so I read that as... My opponent's play of like Dryad Arbor as their first 2 lands, I read that as I gotta go fast and not as my hand sucks because I kept a sideboard card. So that's on me. I'll own it. On the play for game 3. Does my hand deck change? The Daze is the one thing I could bring back in, which is really good against Endurance in the early game. It sucks in the late game. I'm playing the same deck. Let's do it. Okay, this is a strong start. I'll keep it. Thoughtseize is nice. Good to know what they're working with. Cycle my Wraith. Thoughtseize them. We got Veil of Summer, Endurance, Allosaurus Shep, Glimpse. I'm taking Endurance, and I just have to remember that there's a Veil of Summer over there. Not playing their Shepherd. They would prefer to hide behind Veil of Summer. Okay. I should have fetched, but I'm going to cast Ideas Unbound. Oh, yeah. I could just ritual out the Plague Engineer, or I could let them commit some elves to the board first. Now let's do this. Absolute savagery. Plague Engineer is on the stack out of Doomsday. Did you bring in removal spells? Elf. Shut it down. I probably could have, should have waited a turn on this, honestly. I think I could have got a commitment out of their board, and I would have had one more card in hand because I wouldn't have had to ritual. But I think it's mostly okay. So it's still a powerful thing to do. If I attack, they could double block with 2 Dryad Arbors, but putting them to 0 permanence sounds pretty good too. Yeah, I'm in. Okay, yeah, deal. Decree of Annihilation. So now they can go Land Shepherd. There's the Shep. That makes this Force Will pretty bad. I could use a Brainstorm or Brainstorm or a Doomsday very soon. Heritage Druid, pretty good. Alright, Deck, help me out here. Don't shit out now, you fuck. I'm gonna play the Underground Sea, because at this point I have enough bad cards I can Brainstorm away. God, Nettle Sentinel also, and I know Glimpse is in their hand. I don't know, maybe trading off that Plague Engineer is gonna turn out to be a terrible idea. I thought it looked really good at the time, but their hand was full of good cards while mine was full of bad. Yeah, I think I could have won this game pretty easily if I just waited a turn and didn't ritual out the Engineer, just let them commit their board and then wreck it. Ponder, we like those. Ponder for Dark Ritual, Personal Tutor, Thoughtseize. I don't think I have time to Personal Tutor because they crunch for a bunch. I Doomsday. My life total is reduced to nothing. All right, shuffle this. Great. That was the card I didn't want, stupid deck. I don't think I can even cast this. So I cast Personal Tutor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They attack for 5. I'm at 10. I cast Doomsday next turn. I'm at 5, and I have nothing. Okay. I'm going to have to pass. Personal Tutor could still be good if... Right, I'm going to run out my land. Tutor could still be good if I draw Brainstorm next turn. Like, if I'm able to tutor into immediately drawing the Doomsday, I don't know. Even that needs some help. Yeah, and they're glimpsing now. Ugh. Yeah, I fucked this game up, probably. It might be... Like, it's kind of hard to know what's right. Like, putting them to 0 permanence. That felt really good, right? Like, in my head, the way I lose this game is... They play Gaia's Cradle, sack one of their 2 Dryad Arbors, and then Archon of... whatever the thing is called. Archon of Valor's Reach. Just crushes the game. So putting them to 0 permanence just felt really good at the time. Takes off the Natural Order line, bricks Cradle. But instead of Cradle, they had Heritage Druid in their hand. And now they have Cradle anyway. They've drawn half their deck at this point. Yeah, if I wait a turn on that Plague Engineer... Just let them commit a couple resources to the board. We knew they were building up for a glimpse. Like, let them glimpse a little bit. Put them into the Stone Age. All right, yep, dead. Okay. So there were lines there that may have won this game, though that doesn't necessarily mean that they were right. I think that in my deck full of cantrips and tutors, putting opponent to 0 permanence while I'm have 3 or 4 lands, I forget how many I had at the time, is probably a good position to be in. Like, in general, if it was like, you can have 2 cards in hand and 3 lands versus opponent's nothing, I would keep that. I would take that bet. All right. Lost this one, though. Final round's coming. I'm on the play in the final round. Positive record on the line. I'm going to keep this. We use at least one of these wraiths before I Brainstorm. Figure out. Just give myself a little more information. I have also telegraphed to my opponent that I'm Doomsday, but that's fine. Comes with the territory. Thoughtseize is in my deck, so cycling is good. Okay. That's fun. I don't have the the Dark Ritual right now, but if I draw land or ritual, I can Doomsday next turn. I think this is an end step brainstorm situation. I'm just looking for any one of a million outs here. All right, and I found one. Put back these two. Draw the land. Fetch, cast Doomsday. Another Ancient Tomb deck. This has been a really stompy league. Doomsday's on the stack. Doomsday resolves. So I want a reliable pass the turn pile. I don't want to use Lion's Eye Diamond if I don't have to. Let's figure this one out. Yeah, this is just the Ideas Unbound. I don't expect this to be a blue deck with counterspells in it. So I don't want Cavern in the pile. I can get an extra card in the pile because I have the land drop already. I think I want to take an extra Petal in this pile. That lets me Thoughtseize also. So I draw Ideas Unbound. I Thoughtseize, land, Ideas Unbound, Petal, Petal, Oracle. And yeah, this is fine. It plays around Wasteland by you just don't cast the Thoughtseize if they have it, and I can Force of Will their play this turn. I think if they had a Chalice, it would have been in play last turn. I can force a Blood Moon, which I could even beat Blood Moon, it would just take a couple turns. Force puts me to 6, Thoughtseize to 4, Wraith to 2. So I do have the mana to do everything I want to do here. And I am going to force this rather than daze it. I do want to cast this Thoughtseize if I can get away with it. Don't know what they would do with 1 mana here. Okay, the answer is nothing. I think they win this game on the play. No, probably not. I just do the same thing. Never mind. Thoughtseize you. Show me your secrets. Okay, so they are a... Oh, Chrome Mox is in this deck, so they clearly have something. Some colored spell. Ideas Unbound. Cycle to 2. Petal, Petal, Oracle. And Splat. I imagine there's red cards in this deck. The blue Stompy decks usually don't have Trinisphere. And we just saw Chrome Mox, so we know there are colored spells in here. So I should plan for a world where Blood Moon might be in play. Okay, Force of Negation and Brazen Borrower are definitely happening here. Bluster Storm is out. What else is less good? Daze is not great on the draw, especially if I don't have any islands. I think I want to just go as fast as possible and ignore their hand. Like, the Trinisphere deck can't play Mindbreak Trap. I don't think. Here's where I learn a terrible lesson about how decks are constructed. Okay, all of my defensive pitch counters are in, and everything that helps me go fast is in. Can I fit the Thoughtseize in? Is that better than Daze? That might be close. On the draw, though. Yeah, on the draw, I think Thoughtseize might be better than Daze. In some number. I'll leave 1 in the deck because if putting it in the Doomsday pile makes sense, I can still do that. Okay, here we go. Regrettably, Death Shadow, I don't think is going to show up in the final round of the league. Death Shadow won us 2 games, or 2 matches. Got kind of embarrassed in one, though opponent did have to Miracle Top deck to escape that Death Shadow fate. But Death Shadow is not for these matchups where Doomsday is just good anyway. I have a hand with no defense and a turn 2 Doomsday. This is not good enough. My opponent kept 7. Yeah, forget about it. Ugh. I think I just have to chase a force effect. Okay, I found my force effect. Unfortunately, I'm at 4 cards now. I think the 2... I need a Dark Ritual in case I draw Doomsday. Consider will help me find Doomsday. I don't think I get to keep Consider. Force of Negation. Yeah, I don't think I get Consider. Or do I think that Consider is better than Dark Ritual? All right, I just don't think I'm winning this game. All right, I'm sending Dark Ritual to the bottom. If I draw exactly Doomsday, I'll feel bad about that. If I draw anything else, I'll feel good about Consider. Okay, Chrome Mox. I'm not quite at Mad Lad levels of forcing that, though there are certainly hands that could collapse to it. Chalice on 1. Well, I kept this Consider in my hand, but I don't think that's the fight. There are multiple cards in their deck that literally end the game straight up, you're dead, you can't play anymore, and Chalice isn't one of them. Brazen Borrower is literally the best draw. The Blood Moon effectively ends the game, Trinisphere ends the game, Karn is really good. Now I can pitch the Consider, since I can't cast it anyway. Land is my best draw there. Let's keep this going. This Den of the Bugbear is actually really scary because just land drop will kill me pretty quickly. They don't even need to cast another spell. Trinisphere. Okay, I'm gonna fetch 2 Underground Seas. And I think the play is bounce their Chrome Mox in response to this. That might seem weird, but cheesing a victory here where they're stuck under their own 3-ball and I'm attacking with Brazen Borrower seems like among the best possible outcomes for me. I don't know. I just hope to draw a land and get to actually execute this plan. Like, this isn't like Blood Moon where I can float mana and kill the Trinisphere after it resolves, because Brazen Borrower will cost 3 after it resolves. Dark Ritual does not help my turn, and Moment of Truth. Did I stop them at all, or do they just easily play through this? A second Den kills the city. Wow, that was insane for me, actually. Oh, we're getting closer. I do need that third land. Shit, that's a good one. Nope, fuck. All right. Yeah, playing 15 lands in your deck sometimes is a punish. Chalice on 2. All right, that doesn't stop my plan either. There is a Cavern in my deck for the Oracle. Lotus Petal. Yeah, Trinisphere, powerful card. Now they can start activating their Den, and I'm in all sorts of trouble. Yeah, it seemed like knocking back the Mox was actually pretty good, all things considered, like the way that this game has played out. But missing on lands for that long makes it not a good deal. All right, I'm not going to erase the Dens from here. Yeah, being on the draw, mull to 4. I think one more land, we're actually in that game. I don't think anything changes about my sideboard, though Death Shadow would be a house if we get into that, like, prison-y style game again, where they don't really have anything going on. But I'm pretty sure I just bring in my Dazes and try to win fast. Do I put, like, 1 Death Shadow in the deck just in case? I don't think that's the play. Okay, I'm going in. Fastest, most disruptive deck I'm capable of. Okay, I have some cantrips, 2 lands, multiple counterspells. I'm going to keep this. The question is, do I Lotus Petal Brainstorm? And I think the answer is yes. Like, every turn they get is another stupid thing they can ram onto the stack. And I have Dark Ritual that casts Doomsday without Lotus Petal's help. Yeah, so I think the line is Lotus Petal, Brainstorm, then see what happens. Brainstorm, found Consider, another Petal. Okay, I definitely need the Ritual. Do I want Cavern of Souls? I have Force Blue card. Okay, I'm putting away these 2, and I'm gonna fetch, try to use Consider to find a Doomsday ASAP. Oh god, do they have Pyroblast in their deck? Not something I'm really prepared to play around. I'm still gonna cast Consider. No, don't put that in my graveyard. I will actually take a land. Okay, I'm now able to hardcast Daze this turn, hardcast Force Negation on the subsequent turns, and we're in sort of a grind fest. Oh god, what have they done? What's in their hand? Why did they keep Basic Mountain? Nothing. That's so much scarier to me than if they just, like, rammed 4 cards onto this deck. Surely they won't go to discard. Simian Spirit Guide exiled. I like seeing those go away because that's less of them I need to worry about for my days. Sphere. Okay. I have the option to hardcast Force of Negation right now and just be done with this. I could try to daze it and get blown out by Simian Spirit Guide. I'm going to cast Force of Negation just to be safe. And if they Simian Spirit Guide Pyroblast, I can daze that. Alright, that went in the graveyard pretty quickly. Cycle Wraith. Maybe I should have cast Wraith. Whoops. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to Dark Ritual Wraith and start attacking there. Chrome Mox. That's probably pretty good for them. I guess of the Moon. I'm going to hardcast Daze on this one. Oh wait, no I'm not. I'm going to bounce cast days on this one. Because then I can still Force of Negation. I guess I can't Force of Negation this anyway. Alright, good. I didn't just die. But putting a land in my hand when Brainstorm is still in the mix. Alright, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. Dark Ritual. Great Wraith. We're going to beat down. Now I don't care about Trinisphere, Chalice, anything like that. And I can still pitch cast Force of Negation. Like, I'm worried about, like, Chandra at this point. This even bricks a, like, Rabble Master. They have that. Okay, Chandra was the card I was worried about. Please don't have Pyroblast in your Chalice of the Void deck. Okay. We're in there. Did not want to draw that. But here come the beats. Please be out of gas. Please cast Trinisphere or something I don't care about. Alright, Blood Moon's tough. I'm gonna fetch to at least get a dead draw out of my deck, but it is on Street Wraith to win this game now. I have Lotus Petals, but good luck with that. Oh, days. There's that. Alright, I just need them to do nothing for 4 more turns. Nothing at all. That is hardly nothing at all. That's a very real spell. They minused Karn right away, which means I can attack and kill it. If they get Ensnaring Bridge, we're just, you know, in the hole anyway. Maybe I'll draw Force of Will right now. Drew Oracle. Okay. Gonna kill Karn. If they Ensnaring Bridge, they'll still have 3 cards in their hand and I can attack. I also have significantly fewer cards in my deck than them if it comes to that. Okay, now I'm behind the bridge wall forever. And the game is gonna be finding Lotus Petals before I'm dead. I'll scoop to any credible threat that they produce, but I'm gonna play this out because I'm not actually literally dead. Just in really bad shape. Chalice on 1. Yeah, okay. Ponder. Alright. Still not good. I think Chalice on 0 is actually better than Chalice on 1 for my opponent here. Force of Will. Okay. We have a piece of interaction now. Their first good draw is handled. And I know they're not going to Pyroblast me now because they have Chalice. Doomsday, your time came and went, friend. So if I draw all 3 Lotus Petals, that could still play. Shatter Skull Smashing for 4. Okay, the Street Wraith was not part of this game anyway. That's a deal. Dia's Unbound. Normally I'm excited to draw that card. Also, Lotus Petal Brazen Borrower just unlocks my whole hand. So I am drawing to pretty live here. Chalice on 0. Fuck, they figured it out. I actually have to force that. Because that's my only game plan. Come on, Petal. I briefly considered putting a Meltdown in my sideboard when I was putting together this deck. And just didn't do it. And I am full of regret right now. They brought in Leyline of the Void? Why? Do they play Helm? Or is that just, do they just think that's good somehow? Alright, half the combo's here. I drew the thing I only play 2 of. Now I need to draw the thing I play 4 of. Come on, Petal. Not helpful. Petal, 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 Petal. The 3rd Doomsday. I can safely discard one of those. They can't Surgical Extract it because of their own Chalice. Oh no, they're tapping mana. Don't do that. Oh, Hardcast Leyline of the Void. That I for sure don't care about. Lion's Eye Diamond, okay. I'll put that into play. I don't think it helps me, especially with that Leyline. But it's not nothing. Oh, they abraded the shit out of it. Good. Get that abrade out of your hand before there's a real target for it. Petal, where are you? Ooh, there you are. Can I win right now? Okay, Lotus Petal. I can make blue, bounce Blood Moon. Unlock all my shit. Doomsday. Ideas Unbound right away. This should be a win. Okay. Sure I'm not missing anything. Blue, colorless, while that still taps for mana. Petty Theft, the Blood Moon. Then black, black, black. Doomsday. I need basically just 3 Lotus Petals. Petal, Petal, Petal. Did I bring in the second Oracle? It seems like I should have. Where'd it go? Did I pitch it already? Petal, Petal, Petal. Force of Will, Force of Will. Or I can tuck the other Brazen Borrower in the stack at the bottom. Okay. 3 petals. I can cast Ideas Unbound with my 2 mana right now. This looks good to me. The Oracle's already in my hand. Borrower on the bottom. Bonus petal under it. Force, petal, petal. Ideas. And then petal, petal, Oracle. And we did it. With Force backup. There's 2 cards in my deck. It is the correct number. And Brazen Borrower got the job done. I talked about how Brazen Borrower cost 2 to Chain of Vapors 1, but Chain of Vapor would not have won that game. Brazen B. Forcing Chalice on 0. I'm pretty proud of that play. Identifying what was important in that matchup. If they had put their first Chalice on 0, identifying what was important in that matchup, I think I would have been drawing dead. But they let me sneak through. Wow, this was fun. We had some fun Doomsday magic here, and we had some fun Death Shadow magic here. That Elves match will haunt me for life. Arkan ripped the win the game card in his deck when we had just Thoughtseize's hand to completely irrelevant, and we were about to untap into Pressure plus Disruption. So I don't actually remember if he cantripped and hid the Helm on top the turn before and played around it, or if that was just a natty rip. But either way, that game was very close to being mine to win. All of the matches were close, and we won 3 of them, so count that. And Death Shadow actually did win 2 games that would otherwise be unwinnable. That's a giant thumbs up for this experiment. The science says Death Shadow might have something to it. And I'm excited I got to contribute to the Doomsday discourse. It's possible that all the serious Doomsday players, who I'm sure are watching this, will say it's foolish and not where you want to be. But this was a lot of fun. It did a good job answering the specific problems that Doomsday has, like Opposition Agent. We didn't play against Delver, which is what the other thing I lined up for is. I do think one of these Underground Seas should be a Watery Grave. It'll hurt you some amount of the time. I mean, it'll hurt you all the time. That's the point. It'll probably cost you a game at some point, but it'll probably gain you a game in other places. You can just fetch your Underground Seas most of the time. And like I said, some Doomsday lists are already playing a Watery Grave, just being straight blue-black. This was a fun experiment. Thank you, Samuel, for asking me to do this. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you all had fun watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe the video and the channel. Check out Patreon, check out the merch, check out everything. And I will see you all next time for the next video.